The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, to my left, we have a man that really needs no introduction, for he is known the world over. It's the one, it's the only, it's Pops.
Yeah, guys, we're back here at True School Sports talking more boxing. I don't want to waste any more time. It's been a while since we talked boxing, so guess what? Let's get to it right now.
All right, March 13th. Dallas, Texas, American Airlines Center. The man who's on that shirt, Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez, aka the real TBE. He's making his 2021 debut in what I believe, in my humble opinion, and make no mistakes about it, let there be no ifs, no ands, or buts. This is the fight of the year. There is no fight better. There is no fight bigger. I don't give a fuck about Crawford Spence. I don't care about Fury versus Joshua. Berchelt Valdez. To hell with all them fights. This fight is the one that matters, because you got Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez, a fighter as great as him, future Hall of Famer on the first ballot, one of the all-time greats of this sport, taking on Juan Estrada, El Gallo Estrada, a fighter that, really, he's so great, you almost run out of adjectives to describe how great he is. So they had a classic fight 8-9 years ago,
Right.
And these two have remained at the top of the sport for a decade on. And they're having a rematch with everything on the line. You got the WBC title on the line. Right. You got the WBA title on the line. Right. And you got the WBO, I think, on the line as well. I mean, so 3 of the 4 belts will be on the line, I believe. The only person the only belt that's on the line is the IBF title, which is held by Joe and Ancajas. Okay. So big fight. Big fight. I've talked about it, but I haven't talked about it with Pops. So Pops, when we talk about Chocolatito versus Estrada, what are your initial thoughts on the matchup?
Oh man, let me tell you right now, it's like going to a restaurant. You have the meal, you have the pre-appetizer.
That's right.
And then you have the full meal. You know the pre-appetizer was real good, so you know the meal is going to be better than the appetizer. This fight right here really describes what I'm getting at. You got Estrada's been in the weight class for the longest. You got Chocolatito, who has established himself as one of the best to ever carry the lightweight division on his shoulders. And people, in this fight right here, will, and I'm not going to tell, will legitimize what Chocolatito's all about. He's going to rise to the top. He's going to beat Estrada, even though people don't believe that. I truly believe he will. He'll overcome. And I think this is going to be a good fight, and the meal's already set. It's just about to us to go watch it and see what happens.
Well, right now, the popular opinion going into the fight seems to be that Estrada, when they fought the first time, he was a younger fighter. Okay. He had to come down a little bit of weight. And since then, he's gone on. He's become a really good champion. He beat Brian Valoria, beating Quadras, beat the guy Chocolatito couldn't beat Rung Vasai. So the growing belief is that he is a younger fighter in his prime. He will beat Chocolatito. Chocolatito is now in a weight class that is more advantageous and more suited for Estrada, and he's towards the end of his career, and he can't really rise to the occasion like he could 9 years ago when he was in his prime.
Well, my argument with that is, even though he's not going to fight Estrada for the second time until this time right now, is that nobody expected Chocolatito to come back and win a belt anyways this time around. Nobody expected him to climb up to the top like he did, like he just recently just didn't do what he had to do. I mean, experience did it. He was hungry to get it. So I'm gonna say it like this: I don't care. Yeah, okay. So Charlie didn't beat Ramasai, and whoever beat, what was it, Estrada? Whoever beat Ramasai, I get that. But Estrada never beaten Chocolatito.
That's right.
And when it comes to this night, we're not worried about the past, future records of nothing. That night, we will see, we will get the answer. And I'm going to tell you this: Cristo te ama. Okay?
What that mean?
God loves you. Jesus loves you. Okay? So I'll leave it like that. You know who I'm talking about. Chocolatito's going to come in there and do it. And I get it. People say he's too old. He's a little slower. And like you said, Estrada's at the top of his game and everything.
I always find it funny when people say he's slower, right? But like, when we talk about Chocolatito, what makes him great, his style was never reliant upon speed in the first place. No. Like, his style is reliant upon fundamentals, balance, things like that. Those things don't really like even if your speed or your power deteriorates, your balance doesn't deteriorate. Right. Your fundamentals don't deteriorate. So the foundations of his style are not things that are they're gonna be affected by age.
And we're not trying. Let's get it right, because I don't want the other subscribers from the Mexican side. No disrespect to another.
They're gonna say, "Oh, you hate Estrada. You guys
are biased because your son says that Chocolatito's been the best TV." And I'm gonna tell you like this: you put what Chocolatito's done now prior to fighting Estrada, and you tell me who's accomplished more, who's got the best resume in boxing. And I'm gonna tell you the answer, and you all can tell me the same answer. It's who?
Chocolatito. That's it.
Chocolatito. So you gotta give respect to that man. That man earned his stripes. But
Go.
So, but that being said, I don't want to discredit Estrada because I like Estrada too.
Well, no, this is this fight right here is big for Estrada because if he goes in there and he does what people say he's gonna do, it will be the defining moment of his career.
Right.
The defining moment of his career. He's had some great fights, had some great performances, but like when we talk about Gallo Estrada, this is the fight that he's been dying for years.
Yeah.
You know, they've had negotiations fall out of place. You know, guys getting knocked out, guys losing. So he gets his shot now to prove the world.
I loved about the whole thing, I think that the last fight that Chocolatito won and Estrada won his fight, they had them together after the fight, sitting next to each other, and that's very professional on both sides. They carry themselves humbly.
We gotta tip our cap to both of them because, like, honestly, there's so much talk in boxing about things that aren't happening. You know, Crawford, Spence, Fury, Joshua, them fucking prima donnas, all four of them.
Yeah.
You know, but we have to give credit to these two guys because these two guys have everything to lose as far as titles, but they're putting it on the line because they really want to show the world how great they truly are. So people need to stop focusing on what's not happening in boxing and focus on what is. And what is two great future Hall of Famers getting in the ring. Again, 10 years on. It's rare. I mean, you barely ever see scenarios like this where you have a classic fight 10 years prior and then 10 years on.
And there's not going to twist it. This is not exhibitions that we have on today.
No, this isn't freaking Jake Paul versus Floyd.
Right, there's two fighters actually endured 10 years of people that probably
top contenders.
Yeah, I mean, and I get
champions.
And to Chocolatito's side, people probably thought that Chocolatito was done after wrong side, but yeah, he turns around and proves Father Time wrong, and he comes back. On the other side, Estrada beat wrong side, but then I think he lost one or something. He came back.
He lost the first fight wrong side, and he came back out.
So they both have something to prove. But what I'm getting at is these guys endure so much to get to this point right here that this is what makes boxing.
Absolutely.
Right here, we had all the appetizers from both sides, but now we want to get to the main meal.
Yeah. So I think when you look at this fight, and I said it in my video I did in December when I talked about this fight by myself, I just think for when you fight Chocolatito, beating him is very straightforward and simple. It's just only one person has done it.
You're going to the fight.
And yes, by the way, shout out to my man Felipe.
Yeah,
massive
big
love
shout out,
for
man.
Felipe. Big shout out. A great friend. You know, really looked out for me.
Yeah.
I'll be there, Felipe, in Dallas, Texas. So if you're going to the Chocolatito Estrada fight, or if you're in Dallas, Texas, hit me up in the comment section. You know, and maybe we can meet up. You know, but Chocolatito, I think the difference in this fight for him is just that I think Estrada's gonna want to win this fight.
Well, in your opinion, what you don't have to have, but we have this discussion. What are the advantages?
Advantages
to win the fight. What do you think Estrada's got to do to beat?
I was just gonna get into that.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's very simple and straightforward. It's like this: if you can't back up Chocolatito, you lose.
That's it.
You lose. So my thing is this: Estrada is gonna have to, in the first 3 to 4 rounds of that fight, he's gonna have to hit him with something to get his respect. He's gonna have to really let Chocolatito know that, hey, you may have beaten me earlier on, but I'm not a kid anymore. I am a full grown man, and I'm throwing grown man punches to take you out of here.
Yeah.
So I think that's what he needs to do. He's got great boxing skills. I mean, when we talk about Estrada, he's got a great blend of speed, a great blend of power. Overall, he's just a brilliant fighter. And honestly, I believe Chocolatito Gonzalez on that night will be taking on the best version of Gallo Estrada.
Wow, God bless. Yeah.
Now, luckily for Gallo Estrada, you know, and this would truly shock me if I'm wrong about this statement, but luckily for Gallo Estrada, he's not going to be fighting the best Chocolatito because honestly, like Chocolatito was so great back in the day.
You're saying that you're talking real. You're basically saying
as great as I think Chocolatito was to match what he was in 2014, 15, 16. That's just asking too much. But this is still a damn good fighter. You know, I think Marcos Caballero, his trainer that he's got with ever since his trainer Anufo Obando died from the brain problems. I think that he's done a great job of just not changing his style, because you can't really change a guy like Chocolatito, but tweaking some things. The straight right hand has become a bigger part of his game, so look for that punch in this fight to be a big focus of his game plan.
Well, I like the way you use BT tweaking his game. As we see that in a lot of great professional athletes as they go up in career, as they get older, they find different ways to still stay great and adjust their game to their comfort zone, not to the comfort zone of how the whole game or the sport plays itself or the changes of it. And we see it in all kinds of sports, whether it's basketball, whether it's football, whatever the case may be. great players that just know, hey, this is a younger crowd, a younger fighter. I'm gonna have to adapt, and I think Chocolatito's done that. And I think one of the things that I really like about Chocolatito, he stayed focused, he's very humble, and he stayed focused on the basic fundamentals of what made him great. And like you said, BT, he tweaked it. He might not be able to throw that or swing that quick right or left, but he knows how to use it when he needs to throw it. He knows how to corner you when he's inexperienced. How many times we watch fights over here and you tell BT like, look what he's doing. He's getting in the corner, he's doing this, doing that, and the guy's a lot faster. I mean, we just watch some fights where actually Chocolatito's actually adjusted his experience, and he's learned to tweak it to his best advantage, when to throw and when not to throw. On the other side of the hand, Estrada being the younger, right? Because I think he's a little younger than Estrada. I mean, they're not Chocolatito, so he's also got an advantage, and he knows that. But I'm gonna say experience is very important. And I think Chocolatito's been great.
I'm gonna jack one of your sayings, man. Listen, experience overcomes. My dad always talk about his old guy. I'm going with the experience in this fight. I'm going with Chocolatito. And look, for those of you that don't know, let me inform you that I watch a lot of as the Brits would call it. I watch a lot of footy, a lot of football, or as America we call it, soccer. I follow the Premier League. My favorite team is the Mighty Blues, Everton Football Club. I got my dad suffering with me watching Everton as well. Man, but listen, the reason I bring that up is because in soccer, there's a saying that I always hear for older players.
Right.
When an older player, like I remember when Everton had Wayne Rooney when he came back later on.
Yeah.
And Wayne Rooney started scoring goals. I used to hear all the Brits say that class is permanent.
Right.
They say that your form is temporary. Like so, like the you could be playing bad for 4 matches or 4 games, or you could be a fighter that's performing at a subpar level for 2 fights. But class is permanent. Your talent is permanent. Yeah, your skills are permanent.
The will.
And I take that saying, and I liken it.
You blend it into.
I put it to Chocolatito.
Yeah.
He's fought Gallo fight. He looked great against Gallo fight. He looked good against Israel. I wouldn't say he looked great against Israel Gonzalez. He looked pretty good against Israel Gonzalez. He did what he had to do to win against Israel Gonzalez. But his form is temporary. That class is permanent. He's still Chocolatito Gonzalez. And I think March 13th, listen, Estrada's going to come to fight. I expect a great fight for both people. Whoever wins this fight deserves all the accolades, all the acclaim.
And kudos to both of them. We're not... We just giving our own opinion on it.
But I'm letting y'all know listen, I don't even know why y'all even wondered who I was picking this video. I'm picking Chocolatito Gonzalez. That's my guy.
Yeah.
But aside from him being my guy from an objective standpoint, I just think with him, he gets up for these kind of fights. He's settled into a good training regimen with Marcos Caballero. He's beating some good fighters. He's fought himself back into being an elite fighter again. And I just don't think Estrada can for a significant amount of time back him up. And if you can't back him up, you lose. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
So you guys go ahead, give your opinion on who you think's gonna win. Give your intake, and with all the respect, we're gonna enjoy this. We're gonna all eat this full meal together when the fight night comes.
And I'll be there in person. So if you're gonna be in Dallas at the American Airlines Center, I will be there with my boy Felipe, aka the real Jefe. So
and Jefe. Yeah. So anyways, again, kudos to both fighters. But in this channel, this is BT side of the channel.
Y'all see this show. Y'all see this show.
You know what I'm saying? The real TV. We've always said it over anybody what he's done, because he never gets the credit. Even though he's humble, nobody gives Chocolatito the credit he deserves. He's the TBE of the untouchable true school sports, and he's gonna prove it on that
March
night.
13th. So let us know who you guys think, who you picking and why. Love to read your comments. You got any suggestions for videos you want us to do? Because I know we missed quite a lot.
Oh, wow.
Kindly leave them in the comments down below, and we'll get to it in a timely manner. So thank you guys. And like I said, every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.